Hello, I am Dr. Lalita from Hari Science and Maths Academy. As we are discussing the sixth chapter of biology, that is ecosystem, our ecosystem. In ecosystem is basically a natural environment where biotic component and abiotic component, or we can say living component or non-living component, are living together and helping each other. Next, we discuss how these ecosystems are classified. There are two types of basically the ecosystems are. First one is the terrestrial ecosystem and second one is the aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem is further classified into 5 categories and aquatic ecosystem is classified into 2 categories. Now, today we are going to discuss about the functions of the ecosystem. What are the main roles of the ecosystem? The three main functions of an ecosystem are productivity. Second one is the maintain energy flow, and third one is the sports biogeochemical cycle, that is nutrient cycle. Biogeochemical cycle is also known as nutrient cycle. Now we are going to discuss these functions in detail. Here first two functions are combined, that is productivity and energy flow. प्रोडक्टिविटी का मतलब क्या है कि यहाँ पर पूरे नेचर के अंदर होल सोल एक ही प्रोड्यूसर है, दैट इज द प्लांट्स. तो प्लांट्स जो हैं दे आर द प्रोड्यूसर्स एंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ द सनलाइट दे मेड द फूड. With the help of this sunlight, they are doing the process of photosynthesis and converting this sunlight into a chemical compound that is known as glucose. The sunlight is converted into glucose. The glucose is nothing but a chemical compound which is eaten up by the herbivore animal. And this from herbivore animals, this glucose is transferred to the carnivore animals and this chain is going on. ठीक है, कहने का मतलब ये है कि प्लांट जो है वो प्रोड्यूसर है और वो सनलाइट को ट्रैप करता है और कन्वर्ट करता है उसको केमिकल एनर्जी में, एंड दैट केमिकल एनर्जी इज बेसिकली stored in the form of glucose in plants, and this glucose is chemical energy is transferred to the herbivore animal when he eat this producer or the plant. ठीक है, जब वो प्लांट को खाता है तो वो ये केमिकल एनर्जी जो ग्लूकोज है वो हर्बीवोर एनिमल में ट्रांसफर होती है. दिस इज हाउ द productivity happens in the ecosystem. But before discussing the energy flow, let me explain you three terms. First one is the food chain. Food chain is the process of taking food and being the food of others in a linear manner. मतलब जो प्लांट है जिसने खाना बनाया है उसको सिर्फ कौन खाएगा? हर्बीवोर एनिमल खाएंगे. ठीक है, अब ऐसा तो नहीं है कि कार्निवोर एनिमल आकर के प्लांट को ईट अप करेगा. कार्निवोर एनिमल जो है वो क्या खाएगा? हर्बीवोर एनिमल को खाएगा. तो दिस प्रोसेस हैपेंस इन अ लीनियर मैनर, मींस प्लांट्स जो है वो खाते हैं हर्बीवोर एनिमल और हर्बीवोर एनिमल जो है वो खाए जाते हैं किसके द्वारा? कार्निवोर एनिमल्स के द्वारा. तो दिस इज द फूड चेन. अब ऐसा नहीं है कि एक ही जानवर है जो सिर्फ हर्बीवोर है या एक ही जानवर है जो कार्निवोर है. सो इंटरकनेक्टेड फूड चेन्स आर नोन एज फूड वेब. उसको क्या कहा जाता है? फूड वेब कहा जाता है. नेक्स्ट टर्म इज ट्रॉपिक लेवल. ट्रॉपिक लेवल इज द पोजीशन ऑफ एन ऑर्गेनिज्म इन अ फूड चेन. फूड चेन के अंदर एक ऑर्गेनिज्म की क्या पोजीशन है हायरार्किकली, दैट इज बेसिकली नोन एज ट्रॉपिक लेवल. लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड दिस tropic level and food chain with the help of a diagram. The picture shows a food chain and the energy transfer between the organisms. The sunlight is trapped in the plant's green leaf, that is shown, that is basically the plant, and this green leaf or producer is the first tropic level in the hierarchy as they are the producer. So this tropic level, this plant, the sunlight which is converted into the chemical energy, that is glucose, this is eaten by the caterpillar. Caterpillar is the herbivore and it is the second tropic level, or you can say primary consumer. So herbivore is always the primary consumer, and this caterpillar is eaten up by the bird, and that chemical energy from the caterpillar is transferred to the bird, and bird is a carnivore. So this is the third tropic level, or you can say secondary consumer, because plant is eaten up by the caterpillar, which is the primary consumer, and that caterpillar is eaten up by the bird, and that is the secondary consumer. And that bird, simple bird, is eaten up by the next carnivore or higher carnivore, and that is the fourth trophic level, or you can say tertiary consumer or secondary carnivore. This is how the energy is transferred. But if I am talking about the energy transfer, this is the another picture which show the flow of energy across trophic level. First picture on the left hand side of the board, it is shown in the form of pyramid. Means producer is having the largest amount of energy, and primary consumer is having the lesser energy as comparison to produce. This is because some of the energy that is produced by the plants are consumed by it for its daily requirement or daily nutrient requirement, right? And rest, some energy is lost in the form of heat and other activities, for other activities. So some part of the energy is transferred to the primary consumer, and after the primary consumer is also doing its necessary activity, and only the remaining energy is transferred to the secondary consumer. This is how the energy flow happens. So you can see that decomposers are placed at the top of the pyramid. It means decomposers got the lesser energy, least energy among all these. In the second picture that is shown on the right hand side of the board, it shows the loss of energy in each trophic level. The producer, as it has to do lot of work, so more energy is lost in that. After that, primary consumer, there is a lesser energy loss in comparison to producer, and so on. As we are moving to the tertiary consumer, there is less energy loss. Now we are talking about the food chain or food web. The picture which I show before this diagram is the diagram of food chain. But what is food web? Now this is the picture of the food web. In food web, you can clearly see that grass is eaten up by the three organisms. First one is the rabbit, second one is the field mouse, and third one is the sparrow. You can clearly see that the grass is eaten up by the rabbit, and then rabbit is eaten up by the fox. This is the first food chain. Second food chain, if I am talking about, the grass is eaten up by the field mouse, and field mouse is eaten up by the fox. So these two food chains, if I am talking about in the picture, so these food chains are dependent, okay, are connected. How they are connected? That both the herbivores are eaten up by the fox, and both herbivores eat up the same plant. So this is how the food web is said to be, that is interconnected food chain. Now the next topic is nutrient cycle. Nutrient cycle is basically the transfer and exchange of nutrition or nutrients through various components of an ecosystem. There are mainly three types of nutrient cycles. Most prominent, first one is the carbon cycle, second one is the nitrogen cycle, and the third one is the phosphorus cycle. But we are talking here about only the carbon cycle and the nitrogen cycle. The diagram of the carbon cycle is shown on the board. As we know that in the air carbon dioxide is present, ठीक है. अब ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो है ये फोटोसिंथेसिस के लिए प्लांट्स जो है वो इनटेक करता है, और प्लांट्स रेस्पिरेशन की फॉर्म में दिस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो है वो रिटर्न बैक करता है टू द एटमॉस्फेयर. अगर नेक्स्ट लेवल की मैं बात करूं तो दीज प्लांट्स आर ईटन अप बाय द एनिमल्स. नाउ ड्यूरिंग द रेस्पिरेशन एनिमल्स आल्सो रिटर्न दीज carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. But after the death of the animals, these animals are decayed by the decomposition. After long years, these decayed animals or dead animals and plants gets converted into the fossil fuel. And on burning of these fossil fuels, this carbon dioxide is returned back to the atmosphere. This is how the balance between the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and the consumer is maintained. Next, if I am talking about, is the nitrogen cycle. As we all know that nitrogen is also present in the atmosphere. Nitrogen भी atmosphere के अंदर present है, और that atmospheric nitrogen is not consumed by the plants direct. So this atmospheric nitrogen is to be converted into the usable form. And this atmospheric nitrogen is converted by some bacteria in the usable form. And that usable form is absorbed by the plant. Now, on feeding these plants, this nitrogen, usable form of nitrogen, gets transferred to the animals. And after the death of animals or during the living time of the animals, they excrete the waste, and this excrete is converted into the organic matter. And on the decomposition of this organic matter, organic matter is converted into the ammonium component. And oxidation of this ammonium component by nitrifying bacteria converts this ammonium component into the nitrates, and that nitrates are absorbed by the soil, and this nitrates are also converted into the nitrogen. Now, if I'm talking about that atmospheric nitrogen is converted into the usable form of nitrogen by a bacteria that is known as azotobacter. This azotobacter bacteria converts the atmospheric nitrogen into the usable, while there are some bacteria also that converts the usable form of nitrogen into the atmospheric nitrogen. This form of conversion, we heard the atmospheric nitrogen is converted into the usable form of nitrogen, that is by a bacteria that is known as fixation. उसको क्या कहा जाता है? Fixation कहा जाता है. This is about the nitrogen cycle, and this is how the nitrogen is balanced in the atmosphere. Next, we are going to talk about the forest. What is the significance of the forest, and what are the exploitation of forest land, and how the exploitation of forest land occurs. Forest covers the 2/5 land of the earth. 2/5 area जो है earth का, that is covered with the forest. But day by days, as the trees are cutting down for the growth of the nation, therefore there are so many disadvantages of this forest land cutting down. First disadvantage is the temperature is increasing. As temperature increase, second one is as there are less number of trees, so the higher is the soil erosion. जैसे जैसे पेड़ों की संख्या कम होती जाएगी, वैसे वैसे सॉइल इरोजन जो है वो आपका इंक्रीज होता जाएगा, as the roots are holding this soil in a very good manner. Less precipitation is occurring, therefore either the very heavy rainfall is received and the less rainfall is received, and due to that the flood or drought situation is occurring. Next is the extinction of several species. There are certain species which live only in the forest. As the forests are cutting down, so their survival is difficult. Non-availability of the forest product की availability जो है वो भी हमारे पास क्या हो रही है? Decrease हो रही है. Next is it majorly cause the imbalance of an ecosystem. Now, this is the about which I talk about the disadvantages. But if the forest is not cutting down, what are the significances or what are the advantages? First advantage is they provide shelter to wildlife. As we know, wild animals are living in the forest. So, first point is provide shelter to wildlife. Second one is natural habitat. Ecosystem itself is a natural habitat. So, among the ecosystem, forest ecosystem is one of that. But natural habitat doesn't mean that only the plants are growing there. Certain animals is living there in the forest. Even certain tribal groups are living in the forest, not in the cities or the villages. Third one is the provide commercial products like timber, honey, medicinal components, etc. Fourth one is the control the climate of an area. As we know that due to the cutting down of the trees, higher is the soil erosion and flood-like situation is creating and the temperature is increasing. So, as significance as control the climate of an area, it means lesser is the soil erosion, flood-like situation is less, higher is the precipitation. So, rain is occurring either in a very good manner or in a good manner. Provide the firewood for the human beings. This is the disadvantages and significance of the forest. Next, we are going to talk about the exploitation of the forest. In exploitation of forest land, why we do exploitation of forest? Forest land क्यों human being exploit किस लिए करता है? सबसे पहले बिल्डिंग्स की कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए, फैक्ट्रीज की कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए, उसके अलावा अर्बनाइजेशन के लिए। इसके लिए क्या करता है? इंसान जो है वो पेड़ों को काटता है। बट दिस इज नॉट ओनली द रीजन, सिर्फ यही रीजन नहीं है, एक नेचुरल रीजन भी है, जैसे कि फॉरेस्ट फायर। उसकी वजह से भी फॉरेस्ट लैंड जो है वो क्या हो रहे हैं? आजकल एक्सप्लॉइट हो रहे हैं। बट देयर आर 3 टर्म्स एसोसिएटेड विद द एक्सप्लॉइटेशन ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट लैंड। फर्स्ट वन इज द डिफॉरेस्टेशन। डिफॉरेस्टेशन आपको पता है सबको, cutting down of the trees on a large scale. That is basically the deforestation. What is reforestation and what is afforestation? Reforestation is the planning to plant trees. जहां trees को plant करने की जो planning है, जहां पर trees को cut down किया गया है, that is known as reforestation. Means planning of planting trees where the trees are cut down on a large scale. That is known as reforestation. Afforestation is the process to organize the large plantation or creating the artificial forest. Afforestation क्या है? एक process है जो organize करता है large plantation, means बहुत सारे पौधों को लगाने का जो organization है। Organization doesn't mean a company, ठीक है? Organization का मतलब होता है किसी को ढंग से, किसी चीज को ढंग से करना। तो एफॉरेस्टेशन क्या है? वही चीज है जहां पर पौधों को कट डाउन किया गया है, वहां पर लार्ज स्केल पर पौधों को लगाना, दैट इज नोन एज एफॉरेस्टेशन। रीफॉरेस्टेशन है जहां पौधों को कट डाउन किया गया है, वहां पर पौधों को लगाने की प्लानिंग करना। सो दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन रीफॉरेस्टेशन एंड एफॉरेस्टेशन। नाउ एज द forest land is decreasing day by day, so what are the steps that we can take out to prevent the exploitation of the forest land? First one is the reduce the rate of deforestation. Deforestation के रेट को रिड्यूस करना। नेक्स्ट इज नीड टू कंट्रोल द फॉरेस्ट फायर। फॉरेस्ट फायर को कंट्रोल करना, क्योंकि कभी तुमने गर्मियों में अक्सर सुना होगा कि जंगलों में आग लग गई। कई बार तो ऐसा होता है कि महीने महीने जंगल पर आग पे काबू ही नहीं पाया जाता। सो दैट इज द मेजर स्टेप नीड टू कंट्रोल द फॉरेस्ट फायर। थर्ड वन इज द कंट्रोल द लार्ज स्प्रेड डिजीजेस। मीन्स ऐसा नहीं है कि पौधों में कभी बीमारियां नहीं होती, और जंगल में ये पौधों की बीमारियां जल्दी फैलती, तो ऐसी डिजीजेस को कंट्रोल करना इज वन ऑफ द स्टेप। फोर्थ वन इज मेंटेन द यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट रिसोर्सेज। अभी इससे प्रीवियस मैंने बताया था कि फॉरेस्ट जो है वो हमें काफी सारे रिसोर्सेज जो है वो प्रोवाइड करता है, जैसे कि टिम्बर, हनी एंड मेडिसिनल कंटेंट। सो हमें फॉरेस्ट रिसोर्सेज जो हैं उनको वाइज मैनर में यूज करना आना चाहिए। फिफ्थ वन इज द चेक एंड कंट्रोल द फॉरेस्ट एरिया क्लियरेंस। फॉरेस्ट एरिया जो क्लियरेंस होती है उसको चेक करना एंड कंट्रोल करना, इसके लिए फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड इनहेबिटेशन। रहने के लिए कई बार क्या करते हैं लोग, जंगलों को काट के वहां पर रहना शुरू कर देते, तो उस क्लियरेंस को चेक करना होता है। एंड देयर इज अ स्पेशल ऑर्गेनाइजिंग बॉडी इन द नेशन गवर्नमेंट who is checking this, who is taking care of this forest land. Now next we are going to talk about the pollution. Pollution की बात करें तो pollution क्या होता है? Unwanted substance को environment के अंदर add करना, जो कि एक disastrous effect जो है environment पर cause कर सकता है, that is known as pollution. Means जो substance को ऐड किया गया है, that substance is known as pollutant. There are 4 types of pollution that are basically known or to be taught in your syllabus. First one is the air pollution. Air pollution क्या है? Harmful gas emission. Harmful gas emission जैसे कहाँ से होता है? फैक्ट्रीज से होता है, इंडस्ट्रीज से होता है, बर्निंग ऑफ फ्यूल से होता है, एंड व्हीकल्स से होता है, एंड सो ऑन, बहुत सारी चीजें। सो अगर इस हार्मफुल गैस एमिशन को कम कर दिया जाए तो एयर पॉल्यूशन ऑटोमेटिकली क्या होगा? कम हो। नेक्स्ट वन इज कंबशन ऑफ कोल, ऑयल एंड फ्यूल कंटेमिनेट्स। ये भी क्या करते हैं? और सच एज मर्करी causes the air pollution. Due to this combustion, there are the pollutants which in the presence of sunlight and at high temperature gets reacting with the oxygen and producing the smoke. ठीक है, जो generally आपको आफ्टर दिवाली जो है वो दिखाई देती है, that is not the fog, that is the smog. This air pollution causes many health diseases like respiratory diseases, allergy, etc. Now, what are the preventions of this air pollution? First one is factories or industries should be located away from the residential society. Second one is अगर कोई फैक्ट्री जो स्मोक प्रोड्यूस कर रही है तो जहां से उसका धुआं निकल रहा है वहां पर उसको स्मोक फिल्टर यूज करना चाहिए। और दूसरी चीज क्या है, अगर वो कोई प्रोडक्शन फैक्ट्री है या प्रोडक्शन कंपनी है तो उस केस में वो ऐसा मटेरियल, रॉ मटेरियल यूज कर सकती है जो लेस स्मोक प्रोड्यूस करे। नेक्स्ट वन इज यूज ऑफ पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट। सपोज करो एक पर्सन है, वो एक कार लेके जाता है, उसको किसी एक्स प्लेस तक जाना है। दूसरा पर्सन है, सेम सिटी से है, उसको भी एक्स प्लेस तक जाना है, वो अपनी अलग से कार लेके जाता है। सेम केस है विद 20 पर्सन्स। 20 व्हीकल्स, बर्निंग ऑफ दीज 20 व्हीकल्स कंबशन ऑफ फ्यूल क्रिएट a more smoke as compared to if they are using the public transport. Use of CNG gas instead of these combustion of fuels. Generally, now the government has taken action and providing the CNG stations almost everywhere. So, use of this CNG helps in reducing the air pollution. Next is water pollution. Water pollution basically happens when the industrial waste is thrown डायरेक्टली इनटू द वाटर बॉडीज। जब इंडस्ट्रियल और फैक्ट्रीज वेस्ट को डायरेक्टली थ्रो कर दिया जाता है वाटर बॉडीज के अंदर तो उसकी वजह से वाटर पोल्यूशन जो है वो अक्कर होता है। दूसरा बड़ा मेन रीजन क्या है, जब वाटर बॉडीज के अंदर क्लोथ्स को वॉश किया जाए या खुद बाथ किया जाए तो उसकी वजह से भी वाटर पोल्यूशन अक्कर होता है। बट व्हाट आर द स्टेप्स दैट कैन बी टेकन टू प्रिवेंट दिस वाटर पोल्यूशन? फर्स्ट इज the sewage waste should not be directly thrown into the water bodies. It should be treated first with the help of the sewage treatment plant, that is known as STP. STP is basically the sewage treatment plant. The sewage waste first should be treated and after that it should be thrown. Next one is use of fertilizers should be minimal, as when the fertilizers are used on the land and water is spread, then in that case that fertilizers go into the groundwater and the water content, drinkable water content is reduced. Third one is the efficient sanitation facilities should be provided, and the fourth one is throwing of waste into water bodies must be discouraged. Water bodies के अंदर waste को throw करना, उसको कम करना चाहिए जिससे कि हम वाटर पॉल्यूशन को क्या कर सकते हैं, कम कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ पॉल्यूशन इज सॉइल पॉल्यूशन। सॉइल पॉल्यूशन इज कॉज्ड व्हेन द डंपिंग ऑफ बायोडिग्रेडेबल, नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल एंड गार्बेज ऑल टुगेदर डन ऑन द लैंड। जब बायोडिग्रेडेबल, नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल और गार्बेज को डायरेक्टली लैंड के ऊपर डंप कर दिया जाए तो दैट विल कॉज द soil pollution, and this dumping station becomes the breeding places for the flies and mosquitoes, which causes several diseases on a large scale. And the third one is decaying waste, जो ये आप डायरेक्टली डंप करते हो लैंड के ऊपर, ये क्या करता है, कुछ टाइम के बाद डिके होना स्टार्ट हो जाता है और that decaying of these waste causes a foul smell and that affects the area and makes it unfit for the plants, animals as well as the human being. कभी आपने डंपिंग स्टेशन के पास से अगर क्रॉस किया होगा तो वहां फील किया होगा कितनी फाउल और कितनी गंदी स्मेल वहां से आती है। इवन फॉर अ सेकेंड यू आर नॉट एबल टू टॉलरेट। सो व्हाट आर द प्रिवेंशंस ऑफ दिस फॉर दिस soil pollution? First one is use of organic fertilizers, then toxic waste should be burnt before being disposed. उसको डिस्पोज, टॉक्सिक वेस्ट कहां से आया, इंडस्ट्रीज से आया, उसको डायरेक्टली लैंड के ऊपर डंप करने से पहले उसको क्या करना चाहिए, बर्न करना चाहिए। वेस्ट शुड बी सेग्रीगेटेड, मीन्स यहाँ पर तीन तरीके के वेस्ट की मैंने बात की थी, बायोडिग्रेडेबल, नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल एंड गार्बेज की। सो here this waste should be segregated as a biodegradable waste and the non biodegradable waste and put them separate. Next one is the mercury and lead batteries should not be dumped directly. उनको directly dump नहीं करना चाहिए as they are so much injurious that it can cause the death of any living organism. And the last type of pollution, that is noise pollution. Noise pollution is basically the certain sounds that are not pleasant on hearing, or we can say unpleasant sounds causes the noise pollution, like the sound of a loudspeaker causes the noise pollution. So with this high sound, high volume sound, permanent hearing loss or certain some other hazardous losses to our ears will occur if it persists for a longer time. What are the preventions? Honking of vehicle unnecessarily should be avoided. Second, use of loudspeakers in an open area at night should be discouraged. Therefore, now the government take the action on the second step and ban the use of loudspeaker after 10 p.m. and before 6 a.m. This is all about the chapter our ecosystem. Still, if you are facing any difficulty in this chapter, please post your query in the comment box. Please like, share and subscribe the channel for the video notification. Your one share means a lot for the channel. Thank you.